High above the world, beyond the reach of mortal eyes, lived the gods. These deities, unseen by human eyes, governed the very fabric of existence. They were beings of unimaginable power, ruling over different aspects of the world. Some controlled the seas, some the winds, and others the very forces of nature, and some the very essence of life itself. Each god had their domain, their realm of influence, and their own unique abilities. But none were as awe-inspiring or as terrifying as the god of lightning and the god of fire. These two deities were the epitome of raw, untamed power. For eons they had lived in a state of uneasy peace, their immense powers kept in check by mutual respect and a healthy dose of fear. Their relationship was a delicate balance, a dance of power and restraint. They knew that any conflict between them could have catastrophic consequences. However, that balance was about to be shattered. A disagreement had erupted between them, a spark that threatened to ignite a devastating conflict. Disagreement had erupted between them, a clash of wills that neither was willing to back down from. This conflict threatened to consume the heavens and the earth in a fiery inferno. The very elements seemed to tremble in anticipation of the impending battle. The heavens rumbled with anticipation, the skies darkened, and the air grew thick with tension. It was as if the world itself was holding its breath. The fate of the world hung in the balance, teetering on the edge of chaos. The outcome of this battle would determine the future of all existence. Soon to be decided in a battle between two of the most powerful beings in existence. The clash of the god of lightning and the god of fire would be a spectacle of unimaginable proportions, a true clash of titans. The god of lightning was a majestic being. His eyes crackled with raw power, mirroring the storms that raged within him. Every movement he made was swift and sudden, like a lightning bolt splitting the sky. He was a master of the skies, able to summon storms of unimaginable ferocity. Thunder roared at his command, and lightning danced between his outstretched fingers. His very presence sent shivers down the spines of even the most powerful creatures. But he wasn't just a force of destruction. He was also a protector, shielding the innocent from harm. He was revered by farmers who relied on his rains to nourish their crops. His name was whispered in prayers and songs, a testament to his might and majesty. The god of fire was a being of pure, unadulterated power. His presence alone could ignite the air around him, turning the atmosphere into a blazing inferno. Legends spoke of his origins, shrouded in mystery and ancient lore, a deity born from the heart of a dying star. His eyes burned with an inner fire, a reflection of the molten rage that coursed through his veins. They were windows to a soul forged in the crucible of the universe, eyes that could pierce through the bravest of hearts and reduce them to cinders. His laughter was the crackle of a raging inferno, his anger the eruption of a volcano. When he laughed, the very ground trembled, and when he raged, mountains crumbled into the sea. His emotions were not just felt, they were experienced by the world around him. He was the master of all that burned. Flames obeyed his every command. Dancing to his whims and desires, he could summon firestorms with a mere thought, and his control over the element was absolute, unmatched by any other being. He could incinerate entire forests with a flick of his wrist, watching as the flames consumed everything in their path. The destruction he wrought was both beautiful and terrifying, a testament to his unparalleled power. He could melt glaciers with a single fiery breath, turning vast expanses of ice into rivers of molten water. His breath was a weapon of mass destruction, capable of altering the very landscape of the world. His followers were those who reveled in chaos and destruction, individuals who saw in him a kindred spirit. They worshipped him not out of fear, but out of admiration for his raw, untamed power. They saw his power as a tool to reshape the world in their own image, to burn away the old and make way for the new. They believed that through fire they could purify the world and bring about a new era of dominance. His power was undeniable, a force of nature that inspired both awe and terror. To witness his might was to understand the true meaning of power, a power that could create and destroy with equal ease. To cross him was to invite his fiery wrath, a fate few were foolish enough to tempt. Those who did found themselves consumed by flames, their very essence turned to ash in the face of his unrelenting fury. The god of fire and fury was not just a deity, he was a living embodiment of the primal force of fire, a force that could never be tamed. The conflict began with a disagreement, a seemingly minor dispute that would soon escalate beyond anyone's wildest imaginations. It was a clash of wills over the fate of a small village nestled at the foot of a volcano. This village, though humble, held a strategic significance that neither side could ignore. The god of fire, ever eager to assert his dominance, saw the village as a perfect example of his power. He threatened to unleash his fury upon it, reducing it to ashes and making an example of its inhabitants. His fiery wrath was not just a threat, it was a promise of total annihilation. The villagers, caught in the middle, could only watch in terror as the flames began to rise. The god of lightning, however, saw the villagers as his wards, deserving of his protection. He believed that their lives were worth saving, and he was willing to go to great lengths to ensure their safety. Words were exchanged, sharp and biting like the crackle of lightning. The air was thick with tension, as each god tried to assert their will over the other. Threats were made, each more potent than the last. The villagers could feel the weight of the impending doom, their fate hanging in the balance. The tension between them grew, crackling in the air like a gathering storm. It was clear that neither side would back down, and the storm was about to break. Soon it became clear that words would no longer suffice. The gods' tempers flared, and the sky darkened with the promise of an epic confrontation. This conflict could only be settled one way, through a battle, a clash of titans that would shake the very foundations of the world. The world held its breath as the two gods prepared to face off, knowing that this battle would be unlike anything ever witnessed before. The first spark of war had been ignited, and there was no turning back. Section 5. A Storm of Fury. The battle began with a deafening roar. The god of lightning, his eyes ablaze with righteous fury, unleashed a torrent of lightning bolts, each one powerful enough to shatter mountains. The sky turned a blinding white as the bolts rained down upon the god of fire, a furious storm of celestial energy. The god of fire was unfazed. He laughed, the sound like the crackling of 1,000 bonfires, as he raised his hands, summoning a swirling vortex of flames that consumed the lightning bolts. A wave of heat washed over the heavens, so intense that even the clouds seemed to wither and shrink back. Section 6. The Fire God's Counterattack. The god of fire, his eyes burning with molten rage, unleashed his own assault. He hurled fiery projectiles, each one a miniature sun, towards the god of lightning. The projectiles streaked across the sky, leaving trails of fire and smoke in their wake, turning the heavens into a canvas of fiery destruction. The god of lightning dodged and weaved, his agility defying the ferocity of the attack. He summoned winds to deflect the projectiles, creating miniature tornadoes of fire that danced across the battlefield. The clash of their powers shook the heavens, the very fabric of reality trembling under the strain. Up and up they fought, their battle rising from the mortal realm to the celestial heavens. Stars shattered around them, turned to dust by the sheer intensity of their power. The constellations themselves seemed to tremble and shift, terrified witnesses to the godlike struggle. The god of lightning, drawing on the power of the storm, moved with the speed of a lightning bolt. He struck the god of fire with blinding speed, each blow echoing with the fury of a thunderclap. The god of fire, his body a raging inferno, fought back with savage intensity. His punches landed with the force of volcanic eruptions, his every movement leaving a trail of molten rock and ash. Section 8. The Fatal Blow. Sensing an opportunity, the god of lightning gathered his power. He focused his will, drawing on the raw energy of the storm. A bolt of lightning, larger and more powerful than any seen before, crackled to life above his head. It pulsed with a power that seemed to dwarf even the sun, a beacon of pure, untamed energy. With a final roar, the god of lightning unleashed the bolt. It struck the god of fire with the force of a supernova, engulfing him in a blinding flash of white. The god of fire, caught off guard, roared in pain as the lightning coursed through him, his own flames flickering and dying as the raw power of the storm overwhelmed him.
Breaking news.
Section 9. A New Age. The god of fire, his body a smouldering ruin, collapsed, his fire extinguished. The god of lightning stood victorious, his chest heaving, his body bearing the marks of a battle hard won. He had triumphed, but victory was bittersweet. The battle had taken its toll, leaving its mark on both the victor and the vanquished. With a heavy heart, the god of lightning returned to his place amongst the heavens. The other gods bowed their heads in respect. acknowledging his victory, his power undisputed. A new age had begun, an age ruled by the storm, a testament to the might of the god of lightning.